Okay.
The following discussion on Shades of Grey took place live on YouTube after a live reaction to the episode. Viewer discretion is advised. Because this video is not good.
Oh, hey. Sorry. You woke me up from my nap.
Asleep already.
Commander Riker is invaded by an alien parasite.
My whole leg just went dead.
Their growth rate is doubled.
It's attacking his brain, and nothing can stop it.
Respiration is erratic, pulse grossly irregular, blood pressure almost nil.
Can anything save him from a tragic death?
Hang on, Will. Hang on.
Find out next time on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Fat Produce, another super chat, thank you. Watching these historical documents is polluting the timeline. I'm guessing he's talking about during the episode, watching the clips from the clip show. We'll get into that for sure.
All right, this one's from Scarpad's Domain. The first time I saw this episode, I felt like Ralphie finding out the secret Ovaltine message was a crummy commercial. A clip show? What a cheat. Yeah.
We'll get into that for
We'll
sure.
get into that, yeah.
Open Mall Productions, you are welcome. Now that we have broken your spirits, we will see you at WrestleMania, aka Season 3.
We're going to finish the story eventually.
Yeah.
We finish the story of Star Trek, we're all going to be dead.
Yep, Daniel, CEO with a $5. Thank you, Daniel. You want to read one from your boy there?
The one I can say the name right. I mispronounce every single word, but I can definitely say Sinek the Hodgehag perfectly. And now your Star Trek dues are paid in full. Congrats. Have we made it? We've made it. We've made it.
Nice. Greg, $10. Thank you, Greg. Please consider reacting to the season's bloopers. That's one we get all the time, people asking us for. I've said this before, I think, but if we do ever do something like that, it'd probably be in something like this, like a live stream, probably not a YouTube video. But we're getting more into live streaming, hopefully, if this goes well. So that definitely could be something. Yeah, go ahead.
Stuart Arbery. Oof, get some cheap brews on me to erase this episode from your brain cells. Well, how about some cheap whiskey instead?
About as cheap as you can get.
Bottom shelf, baby.
We also got another super chat here from Witcher Joker. Want to read that one, Alex?
From Witcher Joker, it was a recap episode. Cheap, but kind of great for a summary stream. Elementary, Dear Data, and Q ate up most of the budget. Worth it. Yeah, I mean, don't have unlimited money, I guess. And it's like, if you could use some money to have some great episodes, I guess you're going to have some... It happens. It happens.
Yeah, well, I think that's it for the super chats right now. So let's actually jump in and talk about the episode for a little bit. Now, this is not going to be a super long talk because we got a lot to get to on the stream here tonight. We did a patron takes, but there are over 200 patron takes in there, which we're obviously not going to get to. So we're probably going to follow up and do a separate thing for that, guys. We will read a few of them here on stream that stick out to us, but there's no way we're even going to be able to do that justice here. But first, Alex, what'd you think of the episode?
You know, people have been saying this episode is terrible, it's horrible, oh my god, I can't wait for you guys to react to this. And I thought it was going to be terrible and horrible in a fun way, a unique way, something where I can be like, oh, yeah, that was terrible because of this. But it's like, I wasn't expecting a clip show. It's like, oh, that's why it's bad? That makes it even worse. It's like, I can appreciate some bad cheese, but it's when it's, someone else's cheese that's already been, used. I was very disappointed in that sense. Like, oh, this is bad because it's that kind of bad. Not like, there's no, like a cheesy horror movie type of bad. So that was my biggest takeaway from it. Troy pointing out the obvious, as always. Thank you. I understand on TV you need someone to point out every single thing because, audiences are dumb. We're dumb. I know I am. So I needed her to tell me what Riker was feeling at all times because I couldn't understand.
Awakening Cry, $5 super chat, thank you. I skipped an open mic night to watch this. Well, thank you very much.
Well, I got nothing. Thanks.
Was it opening mic night that you were going to go on the open mic or just to watch? Because hopefully our material is a little bit better than open mic night, but maybe it's not.
God, I hope so.
And Valkyrin, Data, Something's Got Me. How many times did they play that in the episode?
Play that. Yeah. How about you? What do you have to say?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to, I'll read this patron take because this kind of, I agree with it mostly.
Okay.
Sinek the Hodgehag over on Patreon said, personally, I think this is absolutely okay. Sure, it's pretty mid, but there's been far worse episodes in season 2. I think this is a classic example of people were, warning us. I read more comments than you do, and people were talking about how terrible this was. I thought this was going to be a disaster. it's a clip show. It's almost a non-episode. Like it's like I don't, you know what I mean? It's like you can't even really judge it versus the other episodes. Like, do I like it necessarily? No, it's not a good episode, but it's kind of like you said, it's like, okay, like shows in the 80s had clip shows. It's whatever. And if they had no money left and it was the end of the season, like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather, this is going to sound crazy, but I'd rather have something dumb like the pack lids than this.
Yeah, I agree.
Because this, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like not, it's almost kind of funny because it's almost like season 2 finale TOS, Assignment Earth, where it's like not an episode, except they're not episodes for different reasons. Like Assignment Earth was trying to make a new show off the back of Star Trek, and this was just like, we ran out of money, here's some clips that happened.
You can't win them all. I don't know. Pulaski wasn't unbearable. She was actually, pretty likable. Has she always been afraid of the transporter? Or is that just like, oh, Bones was afraid of the transporter, let's have Pulaski be afraid of the transporter? Like, has she always been like that?
Yeah, she's never liked the transporter, like Bones. She's had the same gimmick.
Okay, yeah.
I think in the very first episode of the season they mentioned it, and then it's come up a couple times since then, but yeah, that's always been a gimmick.
Can we talk about how Data looked in episode 1? That was jarring.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's. I remember the first time after finishing How I Met Your Mother, I like to go back to the pilot, finishing any TV show, and like, oh my god, it looks so different. It was like that. Like, you go back and watch the pilot of How I Met Your Mother, it's like, what? That's how seeing Data in episode 1, season 1 looked like. Oh, holy shit, how have we come far? This one's from Sixto Reynoso, Measure of a Man, Shades of Grey. What else do Toy want you ingrates? What else do you want you ingrates? No, seriously, this sucked. Yeah, I'm with you. It's not
even like I would say it sucked. It was just like a clip show.
Yeah, it's like a disappointment. Like, I expect, a new adventure, something special in a Star Trek episode. Whether it's good or bad, I want, some effort.
Yeah, true.
I don't want like 30 minutes of the runtime being stuff we've already seen, and Play With My Heart showing Beverly Crusher and Tasha Yar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Stressica says there, it's not Code of Honor bad, but it's bad. So it's like just a different type of bad than the episodes we don't like, I guess. Do you want to read a patron take? Get it pulled up?
Yes, I will. I got it pulled up.
We should probably read at least a couple here, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, this one's from Silk. This is not the season finale you're looking for.
All right, well.
There you go. That's exactly how I feel.
Let's see here.
Read the one from Eric.
Oh, you go ahead and read that. I'll look for another one.
All right, this one's from Eric G. You guys should just pull patron takes from other episodes and feature them here.
That would actually be kind of fun.
That'd be great.
David, simply awful. Even the good flashbacks lose all their potency in this context, and the best acting in the new footage comes from Frakes when he's unconscious.
Oh yeah, they just had him lay down the entire episode.
I will say one positive. Been really rough on Pulaski this season. I was fine with her in this episode. She actually gets to do a doctoring task, and is like actually, she's like, I don't know if I'll be good enough to do this. So if there was any highlight for me from the new footage, I think it was her. All right, for Moonlander. Okay, it's a bad episode, but do you suppose a lot of the disparagement is because it feels like filler with all the past episode clips? It's certainly disappointing as a season finale.
Well, yeah, that's why it's bad, because it's filler. The stuff that we did see of stuff in that episode was fine, but 80% of it is stuff we've already seen. Yeah, of course, that's where all the disparagement comes from. And a horrible season finale. Star Trek is just great and consistent with these season finales, man. So I got to give it to them if they did it on purpose. All right, this one's from Dion. I get the feeling that there is an expectation from some in the target audience community that you will be so angered by this episode that you will rage quit the entire franchise. What? Yeah, okay. Never to watch another episode or even speak of Star Trek ever again. Of course, you've already seen worse, so I don't think that will happen. As for everyone else, relax. It's only a clip show. Yeah, the fact that people think we're going to rage quit after this episode, like, we'd be so angry to do that is just insane.
I don't understand why the hate is so strong. Like, obviously, like Dion said here, it's just a clip show. This isn't like a foreign concept to TV. Is it annoying that that's the season finale? Yeah. Is the rest of it that's not clips any good? It's fine. but I was also very underwhelmed going in thinking it's going to be one of the biggest catastrophes I've ever seen, and it was just a clip show episode.
Yeah, I think I'm more disappointed that it wasn't worse.
Yeah, that it wasn't like an up the long ladder, but worse.
Like, I wanted just pure fun garbage, or like I didn't want boring, you know, like, oh, it's a rerun. Like, I hate that. You know what? I do hate it. I hate. That's why it's bad. You know what I mean?
As far as like stopping watching because of that,
Oh,
if
God.
anyone had that actual expectation, I would be genuinely curious the explanation behind it. Like, okay, this one has nothing to do with Shades of Grey, but I'm going to read it anyway. From Numinous 2019. Does the new channel logo, reminiscent of your original logo, mean that your net will spread wider than the current ratio of Star Trek and non-Star Trek content? I think our content is going to spread wider in both ways because we would like to make Star Trek related content that's not just straight up reactions, as you've seen with, Star Trek TOS Revisited, among other things, but also non-Star Trek as well, audience cut and everything like that. The TA logo with the TNG font was like a pure placeholder, because I did not like the old logo anymore from a brand perspective, so that was kind of like the placeholder until this one. But yeah, we're definitely not going to be just sticking to Star Trek, but we're also not stopping it, so it's just a large part of our channel. Is that?
Yeah, like Star Trek is the meat and potatoes, but we're gonna experiment with some sides when we can, if it works, and if it's ever put on YouTube with 200 views, then we won't do it. It's like going to a buffet. We're gonna try something out. Doesn't work, okay. But Star Trek, I'm always gonna go get my chicken wings at my buffet. That's Star Trek.
Yeah, and the way I always think about it is, our most viewed video right now, the Wrath of Khan video, just passed 60,000 views. That's awesome, but that's not a huge viral video. Like, if we tried a random show one day and it got 100,000 views, we're not going to not watch that show. Like, we're obviously going to do that, but that also doesn't mean we're just going to stop Star Trek as long as Star Trek's still having the community that it's had. So the channel logo itself is very irrelevant to that. It was just time for a new logo to replace the placeholder. But yeah, that's why we've never changed our name either from like target audience. We're not going to be the Enterprise D Ensigns or something. Like, we're going to be target audience forever because Star Trek will eventually end.
Yeah, we don't want to pigeonhole ourselves to kind of like James Rolfe he started as angry Nintendo nerd. It's like, oh, I got to do other games, and he went an angry video game nerd. So.
Yeah, but he didn't never do a Nintendo game again.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I just love how many people are saying, Data, something's got me.
So many times, I hope I never hear it again.
Data, something's got me. This one's from P Coffee. This episode is the April Fool's joke of TNG, but nobody laughs.
That's hilarious.
That's a good one.
This one's from Steven. What do you think would be a more horrible experience, reading 50 Shades of Grey or watching Shades of Grey 50 times? If I only had to read the book once, I'd probably do that.
I'd probably go with the book. Yeah, I mean, I hear the book gets spicy, so that might, keep my interest. But nothing in Shades of Grey keeps me interested, and I can't watch it 49 more times. I can't.
Yeah, as much as I don't have a strong hatred for it, I wouldn't want to watch that 50 times. My favorite episode of Star Trek would be a chore to watch 50 times in a row. So.
God, yeah. Yeah, kind of an easy question there, but I thought it was funny.
This one's from Captain Proton. Do you think that the scenes chosen for the show do a good job of reflecting the strongest aspects of the show so far?
No. They showed a lot of season 1 and not good season. I mainly remember Riker without his beard. I guess his first well, yeah, I guess it was his first conversation with Data when he, that episode 1 makeup was just awful. But what else? We saw the tar monster, Tasha's death, David zapping him.
Him hooking up with all the women.
And yes, those are all the good times. Yes. How about the bad times?
We saw obviously the Data Something's Got Me. Him going in the tar pit. Him dressed up as on the planet Angel 1.
Right. So the question was, did it show like the best parts of TNG so far? The problem is it was from Riker's mind, and Riker was only in like a couple good.
Yeah, true.
Stuff with Riker was only like 2 or 3 good episodes, maybe, and the rest was just like, what the fuck is this? So unfortunately, no, I don't think so. If it was going through Worf's mind, it would have been an amazing clip show, But not everything with Riker, especially season 1, was that great.
And of what we got, they didn't even show some of his best parts, like in that episode where they go down to the planet and he's on the bad CGI. Like, they didn't even put in the moment of the
Yeah.
getting hit with the spear thing and the guy stopping, like moments like that. So they would pick episodes where cool stuff happened and not even show it. I think the Data scene is like the best one that they showed, him meeting Data. It was neat to see that again.
Yeah.
But beyond that, yeah, but that's fair what you're saying. I mean, they did show the one good scene with him and Troy when she thought he was leaving the ship and they got emotional.
Yeah, that was a good one.
So there's some good ones in there, but yeah,
Doesn't
strongest part of TNG? No.
No.
All right, this one's from Greg. My prediction, you'll say this is far from great, but not as terrible as everyone says. I think that's basically how I feel. I don't get why this is such a hated episode when clip shows were a very common thing in the 80s and maybe even in the 90s. But with that being said, I almost consider this a non-episode, almost like an Assignment Earth. But I like this. You know what? I do like Assignment Earth more because at least there's more to complain about. As to where this, I don't even have much to complain about. It's just like not an episode. I feel like the season was already over with the previous episode before it.
Yeah, exactly. And you guys, as Star Trek fans, should have known that as a season finale, you were going to be disappointed. Like, you have no right to be upset. Yeah, no, I hate it, but I don't hate it because it's bad. I hate it because it's not bad, if that makes any sense. Like, I'd rather have it be bad than nothing.
Absolutely, for sure. And with that being said, we are officially done with Season 2. No more Season 2 content.
We made it. We did it. What's next?
Alex and Josh, the target audience on a cosmic journey, feeling so immense. They're sitting in a room, ready for the show. Star Trek Next Generation, Season 3, let's go! The first time they've seen this sci-fi sight, only going when romance gone day and night. Synth-pop beats fill the atmosphere. Their minds are racing, filled with wonder and cheer. Cosmic journey, they're feeling the thrill, exploring the stars. Their hearts are still. Cosmic journey, a voyage so grand. Alex and Josh as fans, they now stand. Cosmic journey, a voyage so grand. Alex and Josh as fans, they now stand.
Whoa! This is way different.
We finally have a budget.